The sun dipped below the tree-line, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Jake tightened the straps of his backpack, laughing with his friends as they navigated the winding trail. The group, Mark, Sarah, and Liam, had planned this weekend hike for months. But as dusk settled, the woods grew unnervingly quiet. Then, a voice. "Jake, help me." Jake froze. That was Mark's voice, desperate, coming from the thicket to his left. He spun toward the sound. "Mark?" No response. The others were ahead, chatting, unaware. He hesitated, then stepped off the trail. "Mark, where are you?" The voice came again, closer now. "Over here, hurry." Branches crunched underfoot as Jake pushed deeper into the undergrowth. His pulse pounded in his ears. "Mark, this isn't funny." He rounded a tree and stopped dead. The forest was empty. A twig snapped behind him. "Jake?" Sarah's call made him jump. He turned to see her standing on the trail, frowning. "We're leaving." "Why'd you wander off?" Jake's throat went dry. Mark was calling for help. Sarah's face paled. "Mark's been walking ahead of us this whole time." A cold dread slithered down Jake's spine. Before he could speak, a whisper rustled through the leaves, his name, spoken in Mark's voice, but from every direction at once. Sarah hadn't heard it. Then the footsteps started. Slow, deliberate, circling just beyond sight. Jake grabbed Sarah's arm. "Run." They sprinted back to the group, but the voices followed. Mark's. Liam's. Even his own, echoing from the trees, taunting. The forest seemed to twist, paths vanishing behind them. Panting, Jake stumbled to a stop. His flashlight beam caught something on the ground, a shred of blue fabric. Identical to Mark's jacket. And it was stained with blood. To be continued. The hunter's breath crystallized in the pre-dawn air as he zipped open his tent. Something was wrong. An unnatural fog had swallowed the forest overnight, thick as smoke, clinging to the trees in swirling tendrils. The usual chorus of crickets and owls had gone silent. Only the wind remained, whispering through the pines like distant, garbled voices. Cole Myers reached for his compass. The needle spun wildly before locking onto a direction, then jerked sideways like something had yanked it. His stomach dropped. He'd hunted these woods for 20 years. They'd never felt wrong before. Then the howl came. Not wolf. Not coyote. Something almost human, a guttural wail that raised the hairs on Cole's neck. It echoed from the fog, too close. His rifle trembled in his grip as he backed toward his truck. That's when he saw it. A silhouette, tall and impossibly thin, standing motionless between two oaks. The fog curled around its limbs like living tendrils. Cole's flashlight beam hit its face, and reflected nothing but smooth, obsidian-black eyes. No whites. No pupils. Just void. The figure didn't blink. Cole ran. Branches lashed his face as he crashed through the undergrowth. His truck had to be close, but the fog thickened with every step, the trees twisting into unfamiliar shapes. Another howl shattered the silence, this time from behind him. He whirled around. The figure stood 30 yards back, black eyes glinting. Cole's breath hitched. He hadn't heard it move. He bolted left, then right, but every turn led to another clearing, and the figure waiting, each time closer. 10 yards. Then 5. Its elongated fingers twitched at its sides. Cole's boot caught on a root. He hit the dirt hard, pine needles scraping his palms. As he scrambled up, his flashlight flickered over the tree trunk beside him, revealing jagged symbols carved deep into the bark. Not knife marks. Something had clawed them. And they were fresh. To be continued. The golden afternoon light filtered through the autumn leaves as Emma and Ryan strolled hand in hand down the secluded trail. Their weekend cabin getaway had been perfect, until the forest held its breath. One moment, birdsong and rustling leaves filled the air. The next, nothing. Emma stopped mid-sentence. "Ryan, do you hear that?" Ryan frowned. No wind. No insects. Even their footsteps on the dry leaves sounded muffled, as if the woods were swallowing the noise. A primal unease prickled Emma's neck. Then came the scratching. Fingernails on chalkboard sharp, it echoed from the trees to their right. Ryan's flashlight revealed 3 parallel gashes in the bark, fresh sap oozing down the trunk. Too high for any animal. Too precise for claws. "Let's go back," Emma whispered. They retraced their steps, but the path curved wrong. The claw marks reappeared on every third tree, always on their left now, hurting them northeast. Ryan's compass spun uselessly. Something moved in the periphery, a shadow darting between trunks just beyond sight. Emma's pulse hammered in her throat. The air grew thick, tasting of copper and damp earth. A snapped branch. Ryan whirled around, flashlight slicing through the gathering dusk. The beam caught something pale and limb-like withdrawing behind an oak. Emma's choked gasp fogged in the suddenly frigid air. They ran blindly, sneakers slipping on moss, until a clearing opened before them. A collapsed tent. An extinguished campfire still smoldering. A tripod stood in the center, its camera's red recording light blinking steadily. The lens was pointed directly at them. To be continued. The city lights should have felt safe after 3 nights lost in the Black Ridge woods. But as Wes bolted his apartment door, his survival instinct still screamed danger. The first sign came at 3:17 a.m. A sound like fingernails dragging down his front door sent Wes's hand flying to the hunting knife under his pillow. His German shepherd, Rex, stood rigid in the darkness, a low growl rumbling from his chest, directed at the peephole. The hallway camera showed nothing but an empty corridor. By dawn, the scratches appeared, 3 jagged lines scoring the door's exterior. Identical to the marks he'd seen on trees deep in the woods. Wes checked every window lock. Reset his security system. But that evening, Rex suddenly yelped and cowered beneath the kitchen table, whining at the balcony door. The motion-activated floodlight revealed nothing, until the playback showed a shadow detaching itself from the railing and melting into the wall. Then the whispering started. Faint at first, just his name tangled in the white noise of his shower. Then clearer, in a voice that mimicked his dead brother's tone, "You shouldn't have run, Wesley." Wes tore apart his apartment searching for hidden speakers. Found nothing but a single pine needle on his pillow, impossible this far from the woods. Determined for proof, He plugged in the GoPro from his ill-fated hunting trip. The footage showed normal trees for 17 minutes, until he zoomed in on the background. There, between the birch trees, a blurred face stared directly at the camera. And it was smiling. To be continued. Officer Rebecca Cole adjusted her headlamp as the search party spread through the pre-dawn mist. 3 days since the Anderson boy vanished near Elk Ridge, and the wilderness had swallowed every clue. Until now. Cole. You need to see this. Her deputy's voice cracked with something between awe and terror. Rebecca pushed through the underbrush, her boots sinking in the damp earth. Then she saw it, a flash of neon blue against the pine branches. The boy's backpack dangled 30 feet up an ancient Douglas fir, its straps perfectly intact, swaying gently in the windless air. No snapped branches beneath it. No rope marks on the trunk. Just, there. As if placed by invisible hands. Rebecca's radio crackled to life. Base to Cole, we've got another one. GPS coordinates incoming. The pattern was always the same, children and experienced hunters vanishing near granite formations. No tracks. No weather events. Just empty spaces where people should have been. That night in her makeshift command tent, Rebecca spread the maps. Red pins marked disappearances spanning decades, clustered in perfect geometric shapes. Her coffee went cold as she noticed, the sites formed a massive pentagram across 5 states. The tent flap rustled. No one entered. On her desk lay a single sheet of paper, the ink still damp. Stop looking, or you'll be next.